we're back at the Stay On Point podcast. We got in the building somebody special. I feel like this guy fell from the heavens above. This man right here is truly the most humblest, nicest, gentle man I know. But don't get it twisted. I haven't seen the other side. We got Kat in the building. Let's go, Kat.
Yo.
Now, Kat, the reason I say heavens from the sky is because I saw on Instagram, a long time ago, right? I saw a little post where you're actually praying before you did a treatment. Mm-hmm. And I seen that.
I never seen that.
I seen that.
I was gonna ask him.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? This man is sent from the heavens above. I was like, this guy is, he's really about it. I'm like, whoa. And then,
That touched you. You remembered it.
I was like, wow, this guy is, saying a prayer before his treatment with his client.
Oh, with the client.
With the client, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been, first of all, I just want to say much love to Freddie and Ale. Thank you for having me here today. I just feel super blessed. I'm really humbled to be here, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for having me. But yeah, it's been my tradition ever since I tattooed for like 5.5 years before I did SMP. And it was my tradition that every time I would work on a client, I would say to them, hey, I have a tradition. I like to say a blessing over each person. Is that okay with you? And not a single person has said no. And so I just carried that tradition over into SMP. And so every single client, every single session, by the time they come in for second and third session, they already know what's going to happen.
Oh.
So when they sit down in my chair, I ask them, is it okay if I put my hand on their shoulder? And I just put my hand on their shoulder and I just say a blessing. It's my way of showing love to each person, to each client that comes and sits down with me, so that they know, like, hey, I have a higher calling than just business. My calling is to love God first and to display the love of Jesus through my life and through my business. And first and foremost, like, that's what I represent. And so people know that about me immediately, whether they're Buddhist or Jewish or atheist, gay, straight. It doesn't matter to me, because I'm not here to judge people on what they believe. I'm here to just show my love the best way that I can.
Let's go. That just touched me right there. I swear, you guys didn't see it, but we said a prayer before this podcast, right? I was a little nervous. I was like, we got Kat in here, right? We have Kat, the silent ninja, SMP assassin, or should I say the SMP disciple? The SMP disciple.
I like that one.
The SMP disciple. That's it. From now on, that's gonna stick right there. The Kat Pro SMP Ghost Pigment artist, my ghost brother, SMP disciple. Let's go. Let's go.
I didn't know that you did that. That was one of my questions that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm also Christian. I'm also very religious, and
Awesome.
I do that. But I don't do it with the client because I don't want to find myself in a situation if they're not a believer. So I kind of just keep it to myself, and I sit on the chair and I'm like very silently, I close my eyes and I say a prayer, help me touch this person's life, because obviously they're going through something. And I don't want to mess up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Please no blowouts. Please no blowouts.
100%. That's and I love that. I love that you do that as well. I think for me, I felt a very clear directive from the Lord. Like I felt the Lord very clearly say to me, I want you to do this before every session. And so if there's like a single thing that I know I need to do in my business, it's that.
Nice.
Because I don't want a person to walk away not knowing that there's a God who loves them. And for me, it's like, man, whatever it is that that you feel led to do, that's what you need to do. Yeah. Like there's no, you know what I mean? There's no shame in doing it one way or another. Yeah. It's like we have to all be obedient to what we feel God is saying to us, you know what I mean? But it's just, for me, like at first I was like, man, how many people am I going to offend in LA? But I think people immediately feel that there's a genuineness that comes from a real love for God. Yeah. Because I don't judge people, man. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Like I've prayed over I can't name, but literal celebrities in LA that have gotten work done, and it had completely different set of beliefs from me.
Wow.
And they felt like, wow, that was amazing. And what all it does is it opens up the conversation to be able to talk about deeper stuff rather than just the dots I'm placing on their heads. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, I would feel very comfortable if you're doing my SMP.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this guy doesn't have a hangover.
No,
He's in the right state of mind.
and I think the most important thing is that you're putting God first, as it should,
Mhm.
right? You're putting God first on anything you do.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, Kat, let's take it back, man. Have you
Mhm.
always been like this, or is this did something like
Something happened.
did something happen, or what? I mean, if you want to get into it, you don't have to get into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So I kind of grew up in the church. I was passed around as a kid, moved like 28 times before high school.
Damn, 28 times? Wow.
Yeah, I went to 14 different schools, lived with so many different uncles and aunts, and most of them were Christian. And so when I came into their home, they would, like I was forced to go to church. I come from a culture where like you listen to your elders, and if you don't, you're gonna catch a beat down.
Oh, yeah.
Just how it was,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so I was forced to go to church most of my young life. But when I was 17, I had an encounter with God that changed everything. Because I was playing this game at church
Mhm.
and at school where I was acting like one way, but I was inside. I knew I was a different person. And so when I was 17, I had this encounter
Mhm.
where I felt like I heard God speak to me, and for the first time in my life, and it changed everything, man. It made it personal to me. It
Mhm.
made it like it made me want to seek God for myself and not just go to church because my grandpa went to church or because
Yeah,
my
yeah,
uncle
yeah.
went to church or because my pastor told me I needed to serve Jesus or whatever. It was like after encountering this, how do I put it, unconditional love,
Mm.
which I couldn't get from relationships or from drugs or from drinking.
Mhm.
I was a crazy, like I drank a ton when I was like 13, man.
Oh, wow.
Like there was some deep stuff in my family that like I just carried on as a kid.
Yeah.
And what I realized is I was searching for something. There's a verse in the Bible that says eternity is in the heart of every man. And if you picture it, like I always use this analogy, like if you picture there being a hole in your heart, that's
Mhm.
eternally, it's bottomless. So if I try to put like sex, drugs, success, money, it's not going to fill it. The
Yeah.
only thing that's large enough to fill that hole is God.
God.
Because
Yeah.
he's the only thing that's eternally big enough to fill that hole.
Mhm.
And I found that on June 2nd, 1997 in a little white church in Kihei, Hawaii.
Mm.
And I've never turned back.
Wow.
So it's been real for me. It's the center of my marriage.
Woo.
Shout out to my wife, Daniela. I love
Shout
you.
out to the what's her name? Daniela?
Daniela.
Shout out to the wifey, Daniela. Let's go.
But it's been the center of my life, been the center of our marriage, and the one glue that kind of holds everything together in my life, my marriage, my business, everything. It's the center.
Yeah. No, and as it should be, like I said, you put God first and everything else is going to fall into place. Like you said, God first and everything falls into place. I believe that, and I agree with that. And I agree that I think at one point, everybody has like one moment for them to get turned around. Like you had your moment, right? You say you were doing all those things, and you had like what would you call it? A reflection, a moment with God,
An encounter.
an encounter with God. There you go. You had an encounter.
It was the first time I heard the voice of God. Now this is going to sound crazy, but it wasn't an audible voice. I compare it to having a very loud thought in my chest.
Wow.
That almost sounds like your own voice,
Yeah.
but it was like in my chest, and I heard these words, "You're not fooling me."
Damn.
And I was like, exactly, I was like, damn. I was like, because I knew, and I was at church, and I was serving in my church, and I was doing all the right things, but in the background, I was hiding so much crap. And God was just like, when he said it to me, I felt so much love, dude. It wasn't like, hey, you're not fooling me, you piece of crap. It was like, hey, son, I see you. You're not fooling me.
Yeah.
Like, choose. If you want to live that life, be about that life. Because I have more respect for people who are just about it and are integrous about what they want to live. But if you want to live for me, like, you know how to do that. And so do one or the other.
Like, don't be hot or cold.
Don't be
There's
hot
a
or cold.
Bible verse, right?
Yeah, it's
Either
Revelation.
you're hot or cold, or I think you're worse if you're hot or cold, unless you're either about this life or about the good life.
Yeah, and Jesus says that to John the Revelator in Revelation 3. He says, be either hot or cold unless I spew you out of my mouth, right? And so that's essentially what he was telling me, but it didn't feel like I was getting scolded, or didn't feel like there was any kind of, like he felt some type of way about me. It was the most loving words I ever felt in my life. And I literally cried for like 2 hours, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. Like, I need to like follow Jesus for real. So that was that, man. And that was, however many years ago. And so I've been just trying to walk that walk ever since. And I've been far, far, far from perfect.
Yeah.
But I realized it's not about being perfect, man. Like, Jesus calls himself the way, right? And so he's not a destination, he's a journey. So like in that journey, you're going to fall, but you get back up and you keep going. And so that's it, man. I'm just a dude trying to love God and love people and do it through SMP.
Yeah. Awesome.
Man, this guy's deep, man. This guy, hold on. the SMP disciple, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
the SMP
awesome.
disciple.
And
That's
I feel like maybe that's your calling. You're doing it through your work.
Yeah.
You're bringing in, you never know with that prayer, maybe somebody might fall and turn around their life.
Man, I have had so many people, so many of my clients that after I've had that opening prayer, maybe 2 hours into the conversation or into my session, next thing I know, they're asking me like, "Hey, man, how do I have a relationship with God?" And so I end up like leading them through a prayer to actually get saved and to ask Jesus into their heart, and that's not the situation all the time.
Yeah.
But what the opening prayer does is it opens up the conversation to be able to present the love of God. And so that people know, like, hey, man, I'm not just trying to get $1 off of you, like, I'm here because I believe that this is, like you said, this is my calling. This is what God has opened up for me, and this is how I want to represent him.
Awesome. Kat, man,
Sir.
you are, so let's take it back.
Yeah.
Let's take it back, right? When I first met you, I got trained by you, right?
I remember.
When I first started doing SMP, I was lining up everybody.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do is just give everybody a crispy hairline. I said, hold on, my game isn't complete. I said, my game's not complete. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the real story. I'm not gonna call no names, man. We had an ad out, right?
Okay.
We had an ad out, and an old timer in the SMP industry. He commented on our ad.
Oh, I remember.
He commented.
Okay.
And I mean, he called me a Lego head maker, right? Because he called everybody that.
Yeah.
Right? He called everybody that. All we were doing is lining everybody up, right? We were lining everybody up. We're giving people defined hairlines. As a barber, you just wanted to do that. I said,
That's what got you?
that's what got me. I said, hold on. I said,
I see you.
I said, okay, you know what? Let me hit up Leaders Academy. Let me hit up my boy Picasso.
Yeah.
Let me hit up the master of natural hairlines.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kind of gave me my drive to learn how to do natural hairlines. I said, hold on. And we were barely starting at the time. We were still new in the game, right? When we had that ad out, right? We were so new in the game. And we're so advanced now, right? With the natural hairlines and all that. But yeah. And I signed up for his training. And lo and behold, Kat was right there. You were right there, brother. Right? You were right there. And you shared so much knowledge with me how to do the natural hairlines. You didn't hold back any secrets. You gave me all the game. I asked you 50 different questions and you repeated 50 different times how to do the hairline. I know I was getting on your nerves.
No, man.
Because I wanted to know the structure.
Yeah.
I wanted to know the breakdown.
Yeah.
I wanted to know every little single dot you had to place to do a beautiful natural a Kat and Picasso hairline, a natural hairline. And you gave me the game and I ran with it.
By the way, I'll have to say,
I ran with it.
man, you guys' natural hairlines are fire right
Thank you.
now.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
it's awesome to see, because here's my point of view, man. The trainer, I'll say, the trainer who holds stuff back is an insecure person who doesn't understand how to make our industry grow. Why do I say that? Whenever I'm training, I'm trying to give away as much information as I possibly can, because right now there's such a bad view of SMP because people see jacked up, gigantic dots that look like crap.
Yes.
And if I'm helping people to become good, then what happens is I'm raising the standard and the overall view for SMP as a whole. So that means that I need to do my very best to ensure that others are successful. Because if someone sees one of my students' work and it looks like crap, it doesn't help me. It doesn't help you, because now they're turned off to SMP as a whole, right?
True.
So now they're not going to go to anybody. But let's say I had a student in New York, and there's a dude who lives here in LA. He flies out to New York. He sees the work of somebody that I train, and the work looks amazing. Then they come back here and they happen to live in Bellflower, and they Google who's a good SMP artist in Bellflower, and all of a sudden On Point pops up, and they're like, oh, perfect. Now I'm open to getting SMP because I saw good work in New York. By the way, I have trained people in New York. And so
Let's go, Kat. SMP Disciple. Let's get it.
but you see my point? My point is that if I can help people become great, it helps all of us.
Yeah.
But if I'm hella insecure and I'm like, nah, I'm going to hold this back and I'm going to hold this back because I don't want you to be as good as me.
Brings down the game.
It brings down the game. We got to help each other. We got to give as much as we can, because also it comes back to us.
Yeah, you're
You know what I mean?
like that student. It's representing you.
Yeah.
It's like, who trained you? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those natural hairlines, man. Man, they you put a lot of dollars in my pocket with them.
I'll drop my Zelle before we leave. No, just play.
So what's going on now, man? What's up, man? We see you shining, man. Are you but we seen you, you have a location in Beverly Hills now? What's going on?
No. I was in Beverly Hills for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm in Santa Monica right now.
Oh,
That's nice. Santa
I'm in
Monica.
Santa Monica. So I was with Picasso,
Yeah.
the Picasso label. Shout out to Jeff. That's my grandmaster right there. I love that dude, and I'm so thankful to him and to leaders, Masood, Ivan, all those dudes out there with
shout out.
leaders, because that's where I got my training. That's where I got my black belt. Was from Jeff, and so. But then it was just last year in November that, through a lot of prayer, me and my wife decided, hey, it's time for the partnership to go different ways, but not the friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because me and Jeff, I still got mad love for that dude.
Yeah.
And
So that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I know you guys were at a facility right there where I took the training. You guys aren't there anymore.
we're not there anymore.
Oh, what happened to that spot or what?
Oh, so that spot, actually, the owner of that spot, out of nowhere, decided he was going to sell it. So we had to be gone in like 30 days.
Oh,
sucks.
okay. Yeah.
So we were kind of drifting between spots for a minute there. But yeah, I was basically kind of like the lead artist under Jeff and managing the Picasso shop.
Yeah, you were running the show right there.
Yeah, 'cause
I went through you, right? You were sending all the emails, right? Doing all the emails.
I was doing all that stuff. I was answering the phone. I
Yeah.
was doing the bookings. I was teaching most of the classes. There's a lot of times where Jeff wasn't able to teach, or
he was on vacation, huh?
No, that dude, he's always doing something, man. So he would be teaching somewhere else, or
Yeah. Oh, he's
developing a new product, man. That guy's
Yeah.
got so much stuff going on.
yeah, he's definitely worldwide.
Yeah.
Right. He
So-
declared that last time. I said you're a Hollywood legend. He goes, bro, I'm global. I said, damn, mic drop. I said, oh, yeah.
He is. He's global, and he's helped me. He's helped me to actually. Last year was the first year I started teaching internationally, and that was because of Jeff.
So he trained you originally.
Yeah,
So when did you get trained?
2020.
2020, and you were gonna do your own thing.
I was gonna do my own thing, but because I was hustling on the
Yeah.
side, man.
Okay.
And this will go out to any new SMP artist.
Yeah.
Like, So my journey was I took the training from Jeff in early 2020, and then I did like 1,000,000 melons, and then I did all these freebies. All these freebies where I was just like working, and out of nowhere, 9 months later, Jeff texts me and he's like, "Hey, I'm seeing your work on Instagram. It looks good. Like, what do you think about coming and working with me?" And I was like,
yeah.
like, because
I never got that call.
I don't think that he's maybe besides me, maybe there's one or two other people that he's ever hired as a student, right? But he saw my hustle and he saw that I was getting good, but all I was really doing was imitating his work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? That's all I was doing. And so when I came in,
And he probably saw more than that.
so much more.
He saw, look this guy's humble.
He saw more than I thought.
Yeah.
He said I saw more.
No, he saw more than that. Like, because it's a no-brainer to have you on my team.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? It's like he saw the humbleness. He saw no ego, right? He saw all that. He's like, come on, Kat, come on, my squad. Let's go win. Yeah.
I'm a team player.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so like I'm a loyal person. And so I think Jeff saw that in me right off the bat, where he saw like he could trust me. Because he came from the streets of Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Chirac.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. From
Yeah.
Chi-Town. And so like when you come up in a hood like that, there's not a lot of people that you could trust. And trust is the highest currency of any relationship. Trust in marriage, when that's lost, it's gone. Trust. Like you only trust your bank. I mean, you only work with your bank because you trust your bank, right? Like you wouldn't put your dollar bills inside Chase or whatever it is if you didn't trust them.
Hear about a lot of banks failing, man.
Hope you guys got some. Hope you guys got some Bitcoin. That's all I'm trying to say.
I hope your bank is FDIC insured.
But yeah, and so trust was something that I felt like he saw in me right away, that he had with me right away. And so he was able to say, "Hey, come on board. Let me." He discipled me basically in the dark arts of SMP.
Yeah.
And dude, I had a different training than anybody else because I literally sat there day after day. I would come into the shop, sweep and mop before he even got there, and then I would watch him work these natural hairlines. And it was like, it wasn't a normal 3-day class. Now I'm in there day after day after day, watching what he's doing.
You were wax on, wax off all day, right?
Like this all day. And then he would watch me. He would watch me. I'd be working and he'd be like, "Nope."
Damn.
But that's just how he was, right?
Yeah.
And I needed that.
He said, no.
And I'm like, "All right, Jeff, could you wait until I'm done with my class?" But like, man, I love that dude. But he was just straight with me. He was, and sometimes we need people to just be honest. You know what I mean? And he was honest with me, and he wanted me to be good.
Yeah.
And I just imitated everything that he did. And yeah, man.
Hey, now you're taking all his clients.
I'm not actually. But yeah, man. So that was kind of my journey. I went from a student to an actual mentorship. Like a in-person, day-to-day mentorship. And it also taught me how to run the business, right? Because I was learning as I was watching him, because I got a lot of the insights of like how he did stuff on the back end, And so
Saw that hustle.
I saw that hustle, man. Yeah. If there's anything I learned from Jeff, is freaking hustle.
Ooh.
That dude, I don't know anybody who hustles like
I will not lose.
like Picasso Jeff.
Yeah.
That dude is freaking.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
He's hustle incarnate. Like,
Yeah.
so I got mad love for that guy.
Yeah, Picasso's everywhere. I tell Freddie, damn, he's everywhere. Like, he's traveling here, there. And I'm like, I wonder what he does in his free time. Does he have free time? 'Cause he's always working,
He
right?
doesn't believe in free time.
Dang, that's crazy.
What's his vice, right? His vice? Is that
What's his vice?
Yeah.
Maybe you know how they say your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness? I think that's Jeff's, man, is that his vice is that that boy don't sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I tell that guy, like, you need to rest, and he'd be like, rest? Why do I need to rest? Well, you're gonna burn yourself out.
I got 2 hours sleep. Why I need a rest?
As
Exactly.
he scratches his neck.
He's like, I'll rest when I'm dead.
You booked that client?
Exactly. So yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's crazy. That's cool. So then you decided to move on You and your wife said, let's pray about it.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's time. What made you want to do that?
Is it when the doors close or what?
No, it's just
When the doors close over there, where were you guys doing treatments at?
yeah, we moved. That was 717 Highland. I love that spot. That
That
spot
spot
was
was nice.
Yeah, it was
so-
nice.
It was
Yeah.
so dope. We moved from there to West Hollywood. So we were in West Hollywood for like a year. And that was a good spot. But I was just starting to feel like, hey, I think it's time for me to do my own thing. And so I was praying about it for a long time, literally like a year and a half. And then I just felt like this is what I need to do. And I make every big decision in my life through prayer. So the more that I felt like it was time, the more that the door started to open, it just made its way open for me. And I just had a conversation with him one day and I was like, hey man, I feel like it's time for me to, open my own shop. Right, so now I have Inkheads, Scalp Micropigmentation in Santa Monica. But he was like, yo, come check me out.
Shout out to Inked Heads.
So he was like, man, I'm happy for you, and I love that about Jeff is that he's not a, he's not a hater.
Yeah.
He's not like he's straightforward, but like, yeah, man, he gave me his blessing and that was that.
Awesome. That's tough.
How was the transition to working under somebody now being a boss? Well, I'm pretty sure it was pretty smooth, right? Because you're like I say, you're managing everything.
Yeah, I think it's just more about like the financial side of like now, because like everything from marketing to the lease and everything was on his
Yeah.
on him. Now
Yeah.
that's all on me.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you guys know that.
Oh yeah, we definitely know that. Yeah.
So it's just a different weight on that end. But like in terms of running the business, that's
butter.
that's butter. Like I got that down. It's just more of just kind of generating my own clients and students and things like that.
Yeah. I was sold a dream, right, to be a manager at somebody's place. I think I said this on this last pod, but yeah, they sold me a dream. I'm not gonna say who. Should I say or bleep it out?
I don't know. I mean, I think you'll never get over it till you say who.
I'll bleep it out. Told me. Yeah, he told me. He goes, "Hey, brother, I'm gonna open up another spot. I'm thinking you'd be a good manager. I think I might want you to run my spot." I said, "Oh, damn." I was like, "Okay, cool." Never got that call, man.
Probably tell that to everybody.
I was like this looking for my daddy on the porch. My dad never came.
Yo, that
Daddy never came. I was like this.
You're
Daddy never came, man. So, but you know what? That forced me. I said, forget that, bro.
Yeah.
I got to build my own table.
Yeah.
And this is why what we have today,
Mhm.
through our own experience, right?
Mhm.
Through our own little journey, right? Just getting our heads right here, working on our own heads, getting my own experience, right?
Mhm.
To find hairlines, natural hairlines, just taking this game higher and higher. Now we're here today strong, right?
Yep.
It's kind of blessing in disguise, a little
100%.
bit.
Mhm.
A little blessing in disguise because that kind of forces us to level up. You know what I'm saying? And then you help me out a lot too. You crack the whip. You're like, man, go do your own thing, man.
Yeah.
I'm
just like I always tell them. He talks a lot about it. About I want to do this. I want to do this. I'm like, well, just come on, do it. Go
Right.
for it. Like get one of these. Come on, go.
Yeah.
But I have faith. I do tell you a lot of times, do it. But in the back of my head, I know it could go wrong. But I'm just like, if this conversation keeps coming up, it probably means something. So let go and let God. Right.
Go.
So
Yeah.
it's like, just do it. But don't think sometimes I'm not afraid, but I'm just like, just do it. It's all about faith, in the back of my head.
Look, fear is so overrated, man. Because courage is not the lack of fear; it's doing it in spite of. Right? That's. I mean, sorry. Courage is not. Yeah, courage is not the lack of fear. It's doing something in spite of being fearful. So people who try to talk about like I don't have fear. I don't like that. Doesn't impress me. What impresses me is someone who is afraid and does it anyway.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's impressive because like it shows that you were actually courageous.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm not afraid of something, then I don't need courage. And so what's the big deal? It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you guys are actually stepping out, doing the thing that is scary, and look where you guys are at. God's blessed you guys, and it's gonna continue to grow. But yeah, props to you guys for actually doing the scary thing, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
no, and it's scary. It's scary. Yeah, let God and let go. That's something I have told him. I'm always working with that because I'm the type of person that worries a lot. for my kids, for my husband, for the business, for
Oh, yeah,
everything.
she's a
I'm
warrior.
always, worried about something. And I kind of spoke to my mom about it. I'm like, I have this problem lately. It's all worries. And she told me in Spanish, let God and let go. And I was like, she's right. It stresses me so much, is worried about family, finances, my children, my home, my dogs. I feel it right here. So then it's like, I've been doing that with my kids, let God and let go. So as soon as I see my baby walk into school, because nowadays you just never know, and I watch the news and I'm like, so I just see my baby go into the gates and I'm just like, let God and let go.
You know what
And
it is, Kat? You know what it is?
Hmm.
It's her little boy is going on his first field trip.
Yeah.
He's gonna go on the bus for the first time.
So I'm like, he's my baby, 6 years old.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, what if I follow the bus? She goes, are you serious? And I'm like, I don't know. You never know. She goes, he's going to be fine. You need to let him. You can't always be there. And I'm like, she's right. I know. But so now I see him walk in the gates or anything that I do. And I'm like, let God and let go. And I actually do feel a difference. I'm not going to lie. It feels good. It's like, breathe, So that's my thing right now. Let God and let go. And, it helps. It helps.
Because what he's trying to build is that thing we were talking about earlier, trust. That's what faith looks like. It's trust, because we can only do what we can do. And then after that is where God's power starts. Like when my power ends, that's where his power starts.
Yeah.
Right?
He takes over.
But until I'm willing to let go of that thing, then he's gonna stand there and he's gonna be like, all right, well, like, soon as you're ready to let me rock with this, I can rock with it. But until you take the handcuffs off, like I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's all he's trying to do, is he's trying to trust us through, teach us how to trust him through different situations in life, And so it's just a constant relearning of the same message, the same thing for me is like learning how to trust God on another level, And so it's over and over again. I'm just learning the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, your dogs have an Instagram?
Wow, bro. Wow.
Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna take credit for that. She did her homework.
Funny. That is funny, man. Yeah, so I have two dogs. One is named Malu, and then we got his little brother like 2 years later, named Rio. Same family.
Malu and Rio?
Yeah.
What are they?
Not Malo.
Oh,
Malu.
Malu in my language means protector.
Oh.
They are Malchipu, so they are Maltese Chihuahua poodles.
Oh.
And man, they're the little loves of our lives. We got Malu in 2021, I think. Yeah, and he was a huge blessing. And then last year, I was getting ready to take off to teach a class in Serbia, and then we got a call from the family that we got Malu from, and they're like, "Hey, we had our dogs had another litter. Like, do you want Malu's brother?" And we're like, we couldn't say no, so now we have Rio.
Yeah.
And but when Malu came, I started an Instagram for him, and
I know that because I think I posted a video of my dog Malty.
oh yeah.
And you comment Malty poo ? And I'm like, he knows, and I'm like, yeah. And then you told me, I think you have like a Malty poo or mix like that.
Malchipu, yeah.
Malchi poo, and you put the Instagram. And I'm like, I'm gonna go follow. And I told Free, like, look, it's so cute.
Yeah. Look, we're not on you guys' levels yet in terms of like we don't have kids yet, but that they are little like,
They're like children.
how would I say it in Spanish? Perijos. That's our little babies. So
Those are your
man.
babies, your fur babies.
Those dogs got more followers than us, man. Come on, man. What's going on, man?
No, babies are like little babies because we have two dogs too.
Yeah.
We have the little Maltese poo and a German Shepherd. And I spend most of the time with them. And I tell my husband, they're like kids.
they are.
They're like children.
Hey, like, no shame. We spoil our boys. Like, we literally make their food.
Yeah.
Like, organic everything. Like,
Oh,
seriously. Like, we buy
hey, better than me.
organic, boneless, skinless chicken breasts.
Yeah.
Vegetables. So, organic vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, organic quinoa. And then we make their food like a couple times a week.
Oh.
And so it's like they eat better than a lot of people in LA.
Yeah, they definitely eat better than me.
Oh my God. No. I get it. And when I first got my dog, I started buying that, all organic. Remember, I would buy the organic for
Want to
Cookie.
give alkaline water. Come on, man.
And he's
Our dogs drink 8.5 alkaline water. Just so you know.
No, I totally get it. So
Man,
I
we got our
started-
dogs off Craigslist, man.
No, we did though. We did.
We did too.
Oh, you did too?
It was a family trying to get rid of their, they had a litter. And it was like,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like I said, I totally get it. I started doing the same with my little Cookie dog.
Mhm.
But we just had one. Then we added another one. They got too expensive because
for
you know,
Oh, we got a different monster, man. That German Shepherd is a different breed,
it's
man.
a total different breed than the Maltese poo.
How much does the German Shepherd weigh?
Probably
100
like
pounds.
no, not like
60, 70?
something, yeah, around
Yeah,
there.
something like that.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Our little guys, they're 10 pounds each.
Ours
So-
is like what? 8? Cookie? She's
Cookie.
tiny.
Yeah, she's tiny. Yeah.
Tiny. So I totally get it. They're like children, and I love them.
Yeah.
Love them. You fall in love with them.
Look, man, I'm a very easygoing person. I'm a very nice dude. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And so if someone touched my dog,
Mhm.
I would go to jail using all the jiu-jitsu I know.
Wow.
Damn.
I'll put it that way. Like I would seriously hurt somebody if they touched my dog. I would turn into a different person.
Daddy, chill.
Yeah, chill, man. Daddy, chill.
And that's just for real. It's just like, no, look, my wife and my dogs don't touch them.
Yeah. No, I
Don't
get
touch
it. It's your family. It's your
Yeah.
family, 100%. And I tell Freddie I would do the same with my German Shepherd. Didn't we have a situation? We protect them.
Oh,
we
yeah.
protect our dogs.
You're a psycho neighbor.
Yeah, we protect our dogs. And I'm like, that's my baby.
I did. I stood up for a dog.
You did.
I did.
But it came naturally, did not.
I mean, yeah.
It's your dog. It's part of your family. It comes natural. I get it. You live with them. You see them every day.
I didn't think I was going to be a dog person.
Really?
For reals. But then we started looking at dogs over the
Pandemic.
the pandemic,
Mm.
right? And so we were on like 4 or 5 different lists that my wife had us on that we were looking for dogs to rescue.
Mhm.
And man, it was a backlog
Yeah.
of like all these people trying
Everybody
to
was
like
trying to get
rescue dogs
We
during the
did too.
pandemic, right?
Same. Mhm.
And that's how we ended up finding this family who was just they had a litter, and so we're like on Craigslist,
Mhm. Yeah.
and so we found Malu, and man, he just, once we brought him home, I just fell in love with that little dude.
Mm. Mhm.
And I was just like, oh my God, like you
Mhm.
can feel this way about an animal. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so now he's, they're both part of our family, and it's
Yeah.
just the way that it is. So
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much love I would have for
For a
them.
dog.
But now I actually feel that love spreading towards animals, period. Like, I'm like,
You see it
wow.
differently.
I'm like, I look at a cat and I'm like, I don't even like my nickname. I'm like, I hate cats, but I actually care about this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's funny what love will do to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
no, I get it. And I've read little online little things that say the dogs are angels without wings or something like
Mhm.
that, or guardian angels or something. And I believe that because they're so sweet and they do protect. My dog
my
protects
goodness.
me. They protect.
Even
They
when they
protect
piss in
our
the
hearts.
bed.
When they what?
Angels don't piss in the bed, man.
Never pissed on my bed, but on their bed they have.
Man, little dog poops on my side of the couch, man, where I sit. Come on, man.
And it's the price you pay for undying loyalty from
Gosh.
these little fur
Yeah, they're loyal.
fur babies.
Shout out to
you
the
know?
little doggies.
So,
Even though the German Shepherd ate a rat the other day.
Oh man, has your dog ever ate something like
no,
that?
no, no,
No, I didn't eat it, but just munched on it.
No, our dogs are way too Beverly Hills for that.
Yeah, German Shepherd's a different breed, right? I was like, what the hell? I went
We
out to
weren't
go.
ready for that.
Yeah, I went out to go take him pee, whatever, and I was just looking over, the street, trying to see if everything was cool, right? And then I just seen him right there. Bah, 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 bah. I said, what the hell? And I was like, all right, time to go inside the house, right? He did his business, and he dropped something. It looked like a chewed up paper towel.
Like I thought it was a paper towel from far. Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked. I was like, nah, baby, that got whiskers on there.
Told you. I was like, I was like, oh, and you're like, what happened? I go, what is that?
Yeah,
And then I go, please tell me it's not what I think it is.
he hates those things.
I can't see that.
Yeah.
I can't. I'll faint. And sure thing, he got closer. He goes, you know what? I think it's a rat. We tried to play back on the cameras to see if we caught anything. We didn't catch nothing. So our theory is that he was probably protecting you from the rat, or he caught it.
Yeah, he's a hunter. He's always trying to hunt something.
Hunting, yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
R.I.P. Mickey, lo siento. You know, like, hey.
Okay, I hear a lot of Spanish, and you know, what's up? Are you
You speak Spanish? What's
Dominican?
going on?
What's going on?
Entiendo un poco de español,
Oh, because you got the
pero...
wifey, huh?
Yeah,
Daniela?
man,
Oh.
I'm trying to learn, you know, it's been years of trying to learn how to speak Spanish, you know, just out of love for my wife and her family. Yeah, it's just an ongoing journey.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get there. Especially you're married to your wife. You're going to get there. You're going to learn Spanish
Well,
fluently.
what's your background?
I'm Tongan, so it's Polynesian. So I was born in a little island called Tonga in the South Pacific. It's next to Fiji and Samoa. So I'm Tongan, Samoan, and Maori. And then I have some European blood in me as well, but mostly Tongan.
Oh, you got that good skin. Got that good skin, y'all. You got that butter skin right there. That's cool. Let's get into some SMP talk, man.
Yeah.
Kat, favorite needle size? Come on, let's go. Let me bring my notepad and my pen because I'm gonna take a little another master class right now. Let's go. Favorite needle size?
Yeah, I don't have a favorite needle size,
No?
and here's why. Because I let the skin tell me what to use.
Oh.
Damn.
I never look. I think it's a mistake for people to shout out their favorite needle size because that's if I say I had a student one time.
Does this go back to being a tattoo artist? Like, because you said you did tattoos before SMP, so it goes back to that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's good. No, that's good. It's partially that, but also partially just working with Jeff. He taught me this. Is that if you're dealing with, let's call it a Fitzpatrick 5 or 6, that's super dark, right? Typically, when you have darker skin, it's a lot of times it's gonna be thicker. You're gonna require a larger needle, like an 8, maybe a 10. I never use a 1003, 0.30 millimeters for those of you who don't speak that vernacular.
That's a very thick needle.
I barely ever use a 1003, but I've run into clients that have really dark skin, but it's super clean and thin. And so an 8 would be a blowout. So I had to jump down to a 6. And even in the hairline, I would use a 5. And I'm like, dude, this is on a really dark person.
Yeah.
And then vice versa, I've worked on really light skinned people like a Fitzpatrick 1 or 2 that have really hella thick skin and like a 5 that I would normally use on the hairline. I would have to jump up to a 6
It
or
just
an
bounces
8.
off like, what the hell?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't have a favorite needle size. I test the skin and I let the skin tell me use a 5, use a 6, use a 8.
But you'll start off with the
I
thinnest one?
always start out with the smallest needle, obviously, because you don't want to start off with a 10 and then get a blowout and then work your way down. You want to start with your smallest needle and then work your way up. So I kind of look at the skin and I'll just touch it and see like, okay, I'm guessing that the smallest needle I could use right now is maybe a 5. And so I'll start with that. If I'm guessing that I'm going to need a 6, I'll start with a 5. You know?
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm being
play a little safe. Yeah, conservative.
conservative.
Yeah.
Just being conservative. That's the key word to SMP all the time is conservative. Conservative with the needle size. Conservative with how you mix your pigment. If you look at a person's skin tone and you look at this guy right here who just walked in and you're like, oh, I could probably mix that at a 28-1. Mix it at 30, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because then if you're wrong, just by judging off your eyes and his skin happens to take it darker than the next dude for whatever reason, maybe he has psoriasis and you don't know or something, now you're screwed. But if you start off like lighter than what you think it's going to be, you can always add more.
Yes.
And so same thing with the hairline. You can start up higher because you can always bring it down lower.
Oh.
Conservative is the magic word in SMP.
Yeah.
If you're going to be successful and you're going to do things right, if you don't give a crap and you're just trying to pump out like clients and get money, then do whatever the hell you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
But if you care about people and you care about having a good reputation and 5-star reviews, be conservative.
Yeah.
You know, my boy Charlie Sheen wants to tell you something.
Winning.
You winning, Kat. And that's, you know what? I feel like I was just looking in the mirror right now because that's the same thing I preach too, right? Always be safe.
Yeah.
Start conservative. You can always go lower. You can always drop. You can always add, but you can't take away. Same with the tone. You can always go darker. Once you go too dark, you can't go back light. You know, or it's
Yeah.
always play it safe. Go around that range of the shade chart.
Yeah.
Just around that range.
I'll take you back though to your original question.
Yes.
I think if I had to choose one needle.
Let's go. You see, he was
I
holding out, guys.
If I had to choose one needle, like the one needle to rule them all, it would be a 603. That is a 0.20 millimeter. And the reason is because I know that I can hit it light enough to make it look like a 4 or a 5, and I can hit it deep enough to make it look like an 8 or a 10.
You control your dot.
Beast right here.
If you don't control your dots, you shouldn't be doing SMP.
Yeah, how about this? What brand?
What brand needles?
Brand needle. What are you using right now?
So
You know, all brands are different, a little different.
Mhm. Yeah. So right now I'm using Mast and FYT.
The mask. Those are the secret weapons.
Yeah.
What mask ones? They have like 3 different ones. I think they have the I'm tuned in, Kat. They have the Mass SMP. They have the Mass Cyber, and then they have the Mass Pro 2.
Yeah, actually, just the regular Mast SMP, it has a short taper, and I kind of like how that's feeling for me right now. So as opposed to, I grew up, if I could say that, in SMP on the FYT pin needles.
We all did. Yeah,
And
we all.
those, I think at the end of the day, if I had to choose any needles to rock with, it would be those.
FYT.
The FYT pinks, yeah, just because
Apex?
I'm so used to them.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm so used to them, and just being with Jeff with Picasso for so long, like that's all we had in the shop, and I know my way around those needles. I'm really comfortable with them. Sometimes it's a little bit easier for me to get a hold of the mass needles, and so I'm learning how to use them
Really?
better.
The mask? They sell them on Amazon.
That's what I'm saying. It's easier for me to get a hold of.
it.
Yeah, get a hold
okay,
of.
okay.
Sometimes the pink needles are sold out.
Oh, okay,
You know,
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So sometimes the pink needles are sold out, and then I'll have to grab some, a couple boxes of the mask. So, but yeah, in between the two.
Okay, let me take more notes right now. how about this one, Kat? What machine are you using right now?
Yeah, man, just the regular old mask saber.
Oh, the Saber. I seen you guys switching to the Saber.
I've used so many different machines. Being like I said, under Picasso, like there was always machines that were sent to the shop that we could use from different names, different companies that were really big, really expensive, and my favorite is the mask, man. Like that's the one that I provide for students and stuff like that. And
Oh, nice.
because I want them to feel like, oh, you're getting the same machine that I'm using.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, that's
I mean,
very important.
So yeah, that's the one that
I seen you before. You were using the Spirit, right? The Spirit,
Mhm.
Cheyenne Spirits.
The Cheyenne Spirit, man, that was my favorite for a long time.
Yeah.
But then I had like commitment issues with the wireless machines because I didn't think that they would last as long battery wise.
Mhm.
And then I found the mask, dude, and that thing I could do like 3 or 4 5-hour sessions on one charge, which is
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, the battery lasts,
Mhm.
and you can even run it high, and it still lasts.
Because I used like the Cheyenne Soul
Oh,
wireless one, and that's like a $1,500 machine,
Hmm.
and I think it lasted like 3 hours.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Not cutting it.
No, so I was like, nah, I'm not about this wireless game.
Mhm.
So, but when I found the mask, I was like, dude, this thing is legit.
Yeah,
It's not even expensive
Yeah,
I mean-
the price tag isn't that high compared to the other ones.
compared to the other
Yeah,
ones.
compared to the other ones. I rock with the Lancer, the Mass Lancer.
Nice.
Yeah, I've always liked that one.
Mhm.
I like the way it looks.
Mhm.
Aesthetically, I like it. Like I like the way it looks. I even put my logo on it.
There you go. Oh,
Yeah, like
Okay.
the royal blue black logo.
okay.
Shout out Mast.
There you go.
Yeah, the Mast. Before that, we were doing the Flex S.
Okay.
I think that's the first wireless machine we got, right? The Flex
Yeah.
S.
Mhm.
And then she
How'd you
still
guys
uses
I
it.
still
She
use
uses
that.
it.
I feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, she
That's
still uses it.
that's my go-to.
It's a 3.5 stroke.
Yeah.
Right. So is the
Mhm.
one I use, the Lancer.
Mhm.
What's the Saber? Is it 3.5?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
That's like kind of like the sweet spot, right?
It's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And I have another mast. It's the Flip Pro, and you can change the stroke on there from 2.2 all the way up to 4. But it's a little heavy. It's in the shape of like a hammer.
Oh,
so
so it hangs.
It hangs back, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit heavy. So I kind of just go back to my normal Saber,
Mhm.
and I'm a bit of a Star Wars nerd. That's why I love the Saber.
Oh, okay.
But it's my favorite machine for sure. And what I would say is, like, people always ask me, what machine do you like the best? I'll tell them the machine that I like, but I also say, like, if you are a PMU artist coming into SMP and you have a machine that you like and it works with the needles, stick with the machine that you like. As long as the stroke is somewhere in the range of 3.5 and you can at the end of the day, if your dots look good, then do whatever the freak you got to do, whatever needles, whatever pigment. All I care about is the end result.
Hold on. What do you mean whatever pigment, bro? What you talking about, bro?
Sorry, Ghost.
Come on, bro. We only Ghost. You got to only use that Ghost.
This dude, you're going to get me kicked off the team.
Okay, another one. How about what's the power on the machine?
Same thing. So I let the skin tell me because I always start around 6.5 and I work my way up.
The power?
Mm-hmm.
It's really low.
It's super low.
Yeah.
But especially if I'm working on a light-skinned dude,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You can't come in at 9.5, like 10 or something like that. If the guy has light skin and it's thin, you're going to blow out like super quick. So
Take notes. Y'all rookie artists, take notes. Y'all getting some gems. I'm pulling these gems out for y'all. Let's go.
So I'll start off, if it's first session, light skin, I'm starting off doing a couple tester dots in the back, and I'm turning my machine way down, and I'm doing 1, 2, 3, stop, wipe. If I like those dots, I stay at that speed. Most likely, I already know it's not going to be, right? So I'm comfortable with my speed around 8.5 to 9.2. That's where that's usually where I feel comfortable. But the skin will let me know, because sometimes I get to the temple and I'm starting to see like, oh man, these dots are getting slightly bigger than I want them. So I got to turn it back down. So it's, again, I'm letting the skin tell me. I can't determine what. It's like me barging into, a date with my wife and telling her all the things that she wants to do on the date. It's like, I got to ask her, what do you want to have for dinner? Like, What do you want to go? What you want to do?
Daddy, chill.
You feel me? Like, I can't. I have to find out from the skin what's going to work best on you.
Ooh.
See me?
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So that's why I start low, conservative number, and then I slowly turn my machine up until my dots are perfect, until I like how they look.
That's a good way to look at it. I never thought about it. Yeah, let the skin tell you.
Yeesh.
No?
Yes.
That's tight. That's cool.
But there has to be like a magic number, like that you find yourself always at.
8.2.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it.
I got it.
It's what I feel comfortable with, just like the 6. I feel like that's my zone, right? And I can, if I had I'll put it this way. If I had a machine where I couldn't change the speed and I only had one needle, I would have that machine set at 8.2 with a 603 needle.
Yeah.
And so that way I can go in and I could go super light touch on the hairline, and then, deeper if I need to. Yeah, I can control it that way.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
I like your style, brother. I love your style.
I'm trying.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, what do you enjoy doing more? Do you enjoy doing trainings or doing SMP?
Trainings.
Trainings?
And here's why. It's because I learn when I teach. So and I got this from, I've taught a plethora of different things in my life just growing up. I taught in church. I taught jiu-jitsu at my school. Like,
You gotta teach me jiu-jitsu.
yeah, I could teach you.
I'm ready to just choke some fools out.
Hey, bro, I'll teach you the basic rear naked choke just so you can stop a dude at the door.
Yeah, I need my white. I just need a white belt, man. That's the beginner, right? The white belt. I just give him my white belt, man.
But what I learned is that when you teach and someone asks you, hey, like for instance in jiu-jitsu, they'll be like, hey, can you show me how to transition from the rear naked choke to the armbar? And I'll be like, oh, okay. Well, this is what I do. I put my hand on the neck, I underhook the left arm, and I start to move my hips this way. And what I'm doing is I'm actually verbalizing movement that I've never verbalized before, and I'm now solidifying that technique into my brain. So when someone asks me like, hey, what's your favorite needle size? I have to think, I don't have a favorite needle size. I actually think that blah, blah, blah. And then I explain it out. And as I'm explaining it, I'm like reteaching myself.
Yeah.
Or if someone asks me a question I don't know, I'm not a liar, so I'm not going to be like, what, and make up some bullcrap answer. I always say, I don't know, but let's find out together. And then that helps me to gain trust from the student, but it also helps me to up my game.
You're learning as well.
I'm learning
Yeah.
because they're gonna ask me questions that I don't know, and then that helps me become a better trainer.
And you gain too. You're
And I
gaining.
enjoy the process of learning, and because when you're learning, you're growing.
Mhm.
So it makes you feel alive. You know what I mean? Whereas like when I'm doing the procedure, I'm just doing what I already know. So
Repeatedly.
I'm not necessarily growing.
Yeah.
But when I'm teaching, I get to interact with people, and then I also get a chance to get better at what I do.
Yeah. Every time you teach another class, it's gonna get better and better. Why?
better.
Because you know the answers to something maybe you never even thought of that it could be a question, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a good question though. Oh no, you asked it. I definitely,
Take credit for that.
but I definitely enjoy trainings more. I still enjoy doing procedures for sure. But like trainings, I really like that because I feel and you can help multiple people at one time.
Yeah.
Whereas with the procedure, it's just one person.
You're just on one-on-one.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it makes sense what you said. You're learning again yourself with the student.
Mhm.
Something you didn't know. So now next time the question comes, you're ready for it.
Mhm. Especially if the question is something that you've never talked about.
Uh-huh.
That's the moment where because if they ask me a question that I already know the answer to, I'm not learning anything.
Mhm.
But when they ask me the question I don't know or I've never expressed before, that's the moment. And I know it in my brain. I'm like, this is a learning moment for me. And I say it to myself as I'm speaking, and I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying this because I'm going to go home and take notes on this, what I'm saying right now, because I know that in that moment I'm growing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah, that's cool. So another question is, before you started SMP, when you discovered SMP, what were you doing?
You guys are not going to believe this. I was doing...
What? No.
Oh, no, my bad.
He's so dumb.
No, I was doing aerospace engineering.
Oh.
7.5 years.
What? For what company?
A company called Prototype Industries. We
nice.
basically wrote in-flight entertainment we wrote manuals for in-flight entertainment systems.
Man, so you were engineering.
Wow.
You had to go to school for that.
I didn't.
You did it?
No, I got a like lower level position in the company, and I slowly worked
Went
my
up.
way up. Yeah, they created a position for me called engineering analyst.
Oh.
Mm.
And so that's good. I mean, God forbid if anything ever happens with SMP, you can always fall back. Go to SpaceX. Hey, y'all hiring? Go to SpaceX right there.
It was I wasn't an engineer, but I learned everything that I needed to do for the job on the job. Just being around all these brilliant people. I was definitely the dumbest dude in the whole company, but I just learned. I surrounded myself with all these genius people, and I do what I do, which is I freaking get after it, and I just learn everything that I can, And so, and I enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed that time, and so I'm super thankful for it because it taught me that I really can. Parents say this to their kids all the time, like, you can do anything you put your mind to. But like, you can ask my wife. In the beginning, I would come home. There would be some nights I'd come home crying because I'm like reading these like 11 by 17 inch engineering drawings from Boeing and aerospace. And I'm like, what the hell does this mean? It's like reading Chinese, dude. That kind of stuff, you did have to come in with like a education to already understand how to just read the engineering drawings. But that's stuff that I learned on the job, and then little by little, I became more and more fluent at speaking the language of engineering. And
So you got tired of engineering and you got into the SMP game or what?
Nah, bro, I got tired of being bald, and I
okay.
found SMP, and then it was my wife, man. Daniela was like, babe, I think you could do this. I think you could, she found that she saw that Jeff was teaching a class, and she was like, look, I think you should take the class and just have it in your back pocket, And so when I took the class, I was still working for that company. And then on the side, I was hustling, doing melons and freebies. So yeah, eventually I think it was August of 2020 that Jeff called me, and he was like, hey, you should roll out and work with me. I was like,
He did your treatment as well?
he did mine.
Yeah, that's butter right there. Shout out to the legend.
And And I would say I think the thing that the one thing that I have done so far in all of my career of SMP is I got to do his head.
Ooh.
wow.
So the work that you saw when you interviewed him, like,
yeah.
That was you.
that's my work.
Oh man, that
So-
was yee.
And so and I just
need to
say that
touch up.
because like I'm humbled because like he dude Jeff is he's very picky about like everything, and so he's very precise about stuff. And so when he asked me to do his work, I was like, man, like this is an honor. This is a huge honor.
Nice.
Of course, you used the ghost, right? Use the ghost. What needle size did you? I'm breaking it down. What needle size did you use on him?
5.
05 for everything. Oh, well, it was just a touch up, right?
No, it wasn't a touch
he-
up. He had it. It was removed, and then I
Oh.
did it from scratch.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So 05? You did
Yep.
the whole treatment with the 05?
I think I used the 403 just on the hairline a little bit,
Mm.
but the rest of it was 05 because he's hella light skinned.
Yeah, he is.
He is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
light
Super
skin, yes.
And what tone? Do you remember what tone?
Mixture?
Yeah.
I used 26 and 1.
Oh, 26 and 1. Do you put modifiers in your ghost?
Always.
Oh.
Always.
The neutralizer?
Always neutralizer.
How many okay, so just for example, you're doing like a shade like a 16.
All right, I'm gonna blow you guys' mind right now.
Okay, yeah,
Pay
but
attention, y'all.
I do a 1-in-1 mixture, meaning however many drops of pigment I put that same amount of neutralizer. Because here's why. Because on light skin, pure carbon black is going to turn bluish, and on dark skin, pure carbon black is going to turn greenish. And so you have to neutralize both. I neutralize so that I don't get blue, and I neutralize so I don't get green on dark folks. So I use the neutralizer on every client that I work on, unless you're using the universal brown from Ghost, which already has
Already has
neutralizer,
it.
then you're good. But if you're using carbon black, it's always neutralizer 1-in-1, and that's not how they recommend to use it. They recommend I think it's 20%. So if 8 drops Ghost, then you put 2 drops neutralizer, right? But I literally do 1-in-1.
hold on.
That's just how I do it.
So for Picasso's, okay, so you did what shade? 26?
Mm-hmm.
You did a 26, so you split that in half? So right,
Mhm.
so 13,
Mhm.
right? 13 water.
Mm-hmm. And I split that in half again.
Oh, you split that in half again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm getting lost now. Okay, so
So
you
it'd be 6.5. Yeah.
so 6.5 and then
And then I would do 6.5.
The neutralizer.
okay, let's just split it in half. Just for me.
Let's pretend like it was 20. Let's make it easier
Yeah, yeah,
number,
okay,
right?
yeah.
Let's make it an easier number. So if it was 20, we cut it in half, and now you have 10.
10 water
Uh-huh.
and then 0.5 pigment.
Mhm.
Okay, and then
You cut that in.
let's not cut that.
Okay.
From there, how much neutralizer are you gonna put in?
If you put 0.5,
Ink.
pigment, I do 1-in-1, so it's going to be 0.5 neutralizer.
Oh.
I put a lot
Okay.
because that's my way of being conservative there, because I don't want blue heads, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want green looking dots on darker
Mhm.
folks. So that's one of my secrets. You're
Yeah.
welcome, bro. Now everyone knows.
Daddy, chill.
Everybody knows.
winning.
We're definitely winning over here, man. We're giving you guys some gems. I could cut that out if you want.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Damn, that's awesome. That's amazing.
It's worked for me. And maybe
Yeah.
some people, if someone's gonna watch this and be like, "That's bull crap," blah, blah, blah,
Oh.
that's cool. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
It works
to me,
for
It
you.
works for me.
It works for
And
you.
so
When you put that much neutralizer, did you ever get like a hue back? Like it comes out a little pinkish, like a little bit? No, never.
never,
Oh,
I've never
okay.
gotten pink.
Okay.
That's definitely not a color that I've seen in terms of off tones.
Mm.
Yeah, it's I've seen where work turned blue before the neutralizer came, and so we all learn. We have these moments where we learn from mistakes that we made, and I over judged. I over mixed a pigment on a client, and this was back way early in my when I was starting, and I was like, oh man, I could see bluish tones, and I was like, this
Ooh.
is not okay. And
Light
so
skin client.
it helped me to start using the neutralizer, and I basically was like, I'm not gonna let that happen again,
Mhm.
because I want to make sure that my clients are happy, man.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people in the industry don't use neutralizers, and a lot do.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm not here to preach the neutralizer gospel. Right?
Yeah.
If you use neutralizer, you don't use neutralizer, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just telling you what I do.
Mm. Yeah.
Because I think the problem is people have their set ways of doing something, and they think everybody should do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me and Jeff have a different touch. He's more heavy-handed than I am, right? So that means if he sets his machine at 9.5 the speed, if I take that same machine and I make my impressions are going to look smaller than his, both set at 9.5 and mixed at 26:1. My dots are going to look different from his dots. So that means I have to adjust accordingly to my touch. Feel me? That's why I don't preach like you this way or the highway for everybody. I don't preach that.
Everybody has a different touch.
Everybody. So when I'm teaching with students, I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you the general rules, but they're not set in stone. At the end of the day, I want you to find what works for you, because all I care about is that your dots are tiny and beautiful. That's all I care about. And if your work look good, I don't care what speed you have.
Yeah.
Right? Because you might be hella heavy-handed and you might have to turn it all the way down to 5. Or you might be really light-handed and you have to turn it all the way up to 12.
Yeah.
So whatever allows you to make crispy, tiny dots, do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you trying to finish like a treatment in one session?
No,
No?
never. And maybe because I haven't figured out how to do that in one session. Like I've never been able to finish in one session. I've done 2 sessions. That's been like,
Same here. Yeah.
that's been 2 of hundreds of clients. For me, I'm doing 3 to 4 sessions. And I think I'm
Because you're layering, right? Maybe like 3D layer up little sporadic bursts.
so people have different styles, and my style is high density, tiny dots.
Okay.
Right? Some people have low density, big dots.
Yes.
That's not my style.
Yeah.
Like if you look closely at Jeff's head, it's high density, tiny dots.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's
More work, but it's okay.
It's more work, but here's the thing. I've always been an artist. So ever since I was 6 years old and I was drawing muscle men on the beach in my 3rd grade, or 2nd grade, classroom with Miss Hogan. Shout out to Miss Hogan.
Miss Hogan, let's go.
Like I was always drawing since I was a little kid, and I care about how my art looks. So for me, even the way that I do my pricing, I don't price per session. I price, like I say, here's my price. It might be a little bit higher than other prices out there, but it's going to include all the necessary sessions. And so whether we're doing 2 sessions or 5, you're going to know that you're happy when you go home.
Yeah, from start to finish.
Yeah, because I'm caring about like the end product, and I want to make sure that I'm proud of it.
Yes.
I even get pissed when my clients come back and they're like, "Oh, I was in the sun for 2 weeks straight in Baja," and I'm like, "Bro, you freaking screwed up my work."
Yeah, my art.
That's my art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, exactly.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, you I mean, I don't know, but at the beginning I would go home and I would think about that client all day. I hope they don't ruin it. I hope they don't take a shower. You know why? Because at the end of the day, it falls back on you. Right? It falls back on you. And no, you want to take care of it.
This is your name.
Yeah.
It's your name, and your work is going to speak for you. And like I've had the honor of working on clients from like Vietnam, Africa, Chile, and I don't even have that many followers, but somehow they'll find my page and fly all the freaking way to LA to get work done. And that says to me, it's because I'm paying attention to my work and I'm caring about my dots.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's all that you can do, is just be great at what you do. And then if you could have a great marketing system as well,
Yeah, that's half the battle.
dude, that's what I got. Like, dude, Jeff, his videos, man.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
He's just on a different level.
Yeah, he's a movie star. He's Tom Cruise, man. Right? He's like a Tom Cruise right there, man.
Of the SMP.
Yeah, he's right there in the plane and everything, man.
Yeah, that's tight. I'm just waiting till I catch the scene where he's jumping off the plane.
So you still part of Leaders?
So I don't know if you saw, I just recently posted that I actually left Leaders about a week or 2 ago. Actually.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, because I'm actually now a part of an academy in the UK. It's out of it's sorry, not the UK. It's out of Europe. It's called Sfiato Academy, and
Shout out to what?
Sviato Academy
Sviato
Yeah.
Academy in the UK?
in Europe.
Oh, in Europe. In Europe.
So
Let's go.
Yeah. So I'm one of they have a reach of like 70 plus countries. So it's like 200 trainers and like 18,000 students. And they teach like lips, eyebrows, all this stuff, but they didn't teach
SMP.
SMP. And so it was me and 2 other people who got brought on as the first 3 like trainers. And so I'm going to be like next month, I'm going to be doing like a European tour.
Wow.
My boy Kat, the SMP Disciple, making moves. Let's go.
You know, the very first thing that I actually did was like I actually I sent a message to both Jeff and Masood because they're the owners of Leaders, you know, and I just told them like, hey man, I just want to let you guys know I love you guys, and I'm so thankful for everything that Leaders has done for me. And both of them were so like amazing. They both responded like, hey man, you know, take care of your family, do what you got to do, just know we're always here for you. And it was cool, man, because like that's how I want to do like my business. I don't want to like burn bridges. I don't want to be the dude who's like, thank you. You know, late. Like that's not my style. And so I wanted to leave with honor and just be like, hey, I love you guys, man. Thank you for everything that you've helped me to do. You know, it was important to me to, you know, be able to leave the relationship with Leaders in an honorable way.
Yes.
You know what I mean, I think so many times we just like use each other in this industry and then we discard relationships, man. And if we understand that relationships is actually the gold, relationships are actually what helps us to make connections. You know, it was my relationship with Leaders that helped me last year to start teaching in different countries like Europe and Spain, in Canada with Jeff, in Serbia, Vietnam, like these different countries that I'd never been to before, and it was all because Leaders opened the door for me. And so
It helps
like that's
you grow, right? Building
100%.
relationships help you grow.
But then that teaching overseas as in Barcelona, I did a class with Ivan and with Jeff, and I met this a student there who is a part of the Sviato Academy, and he tied me into the academy. And little by little, I saw that like, hey, there's an opportunity here. And so
Finna took Kat to that trip.
and look, man, I'm not,
Because now he's gone.
here's the thing.
Forever.
Nah, we good. Come on.
That's such a classic
That's
clip
classic,
that you
right?
use right there,
Yes,
the
sir.
Sandlot. No, but and here's the thing, I don't regret it. I'm not a hater. Like, here's the thing, everyone's gonna make moves, right? But it's how you make those moves.
Yeah.
Am I gonna flip the bird to the people who helped me? No, I would never do that.
Yeah.
So I have to do it in the best, most honorable way that I could, and that was my way of doing it. And so, right or wrong, indifferent, it to me, it's like I did what I feel like God was leading me to do. And so here now I'm starting this new journey of mostly teaching in Europe for probably the next
Wow.
year, and then we'll see where that leads. You know, me and my wife, we're on this faith journey of just seeing like where God's gonna take us. You know, but yeah, most of April and half of May I'll be gone.
Are you taking your wife?
I'm trying to.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, I
awesome
hope
if
that
you
we can.
do.
Where's Malo gonna stay?
Malu and Rio might be staying with my in-laws. Love you, mom and dad. Love ya.
Oh.
Oh man, that's dope. Europe, man, that's awesome. That is amazing, Kat.
Yeah.
You're making moves, bro. I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. You're doing big things.
Yeah, but you know, like, to be honest, like last year when I was traveling, I'm not one of those, like, I'm not on vacation.
Mhm.
I flew all the way to Serbia, landed in the airport, went straight to the hotel, taught for 3 days, got back on a cab, went back to the airport, flew home, didn't do jack.
Wow.
think-
Even though you were like,
No.
probably had the opportunity.
Here's the thing, I'm not there to spend money. I'm there to make money.
Mm.
And there's coming a time where I'll be able to like just take my wife to Europe and know that I got like, 13 or 14 different inkheads located all over the world,
Yes.
and they're making money
Yeah,
from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be the time to do that. This is
Yeah.
not the time to do that.
Yeah.
You know
Still
what I'm saying?
building. You're
It's
still
bu-
building.
I'm building.
Yeah.
I'm building.
Yeah.
So
That's the goal, right?
that's the goal,
yeah,
man.
that's the goal.
The goal the goal is to not work for myself,
Yeah.
right? That's the goal, because you go from being self-employed to being a business owner, where if you take me out of the equation, the business is still running.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you gonna teach Daniela how to do SMP?
Nah,
No, she's not.
she's
So we're a cool little duo right here. You know, she takes care of the females.
yeah.
You
I
know-
think if she had a desire to, 100%, I would
Oh.
teach her. But
Mhm.
she doesn't. She doesn't have. She's
She's just collecting the money.
no, she's a hard worker, man. My wife's a super hard worker. She's been working in film production
Ooh,
for a
Wow.
long time.
your production right there.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Mostly,
You'd be like The Rock.
bro. When I do The Rock, one day, Dwayne.
Yeah.
One day, I'm gonna do The Rock.
It looks like he has SMP low key though. No, it
Maybe.
does.
Does he?
But very natural. Maybe Kat did his friend, but
Bro.
yeah. But it looks like they like I saw a shade right here, or maybe they just put makeup on or something. But I saw a little shade up here. No
Maybe.
hairline.
We saw him in Madrid.
Oh,
Like, me
okay,
and my
okay.
wife were in Spain like 2 years ago, and he was doing our hotel was right next door to the theater where they were doing the premiere for Black Adam.
Yeah.
Bro, your boy was standing like right there where the camera was.
Oh.
Except they're like
Wow.
like 8 or 9 people in between, or maybe more like 30. Because I was trying to hand out do my card.
Yeah.
Yo!
Yeah.
And plus he's Samoan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's crazy.
but no, man, it's I think that once one of those guys, Joe Rogan,
Joe's a hater, man.
Oh, Joe said something about it, right?
He's a hater, bro. Oh, it's gonna turn blue.
Yeah.
Well, let's put that neutralizer in it.
yeah, exactly. He just needs to get educated
Yeah, he
on
just
it,
needs to
you
get
know.
educated.
He's salty. Why? You know why he's salty? Because he has a failed hair transplant. That's why he's
Multiple.
salty.
Yeah, multiple.
Right? That's why he's extra salty on any hair loss solution,
Yeah,
right? If you would have got SMP first, it wasn't around back then,
yeah.
right? Or he probably didn't know about it. But if he would have got that first, he probably would have advocated for SMP, right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, he just
But Joe, as a fellow black belt, trust me, bro. Like, we can see eye to eye on jiu-jitsu. Like, yo, I got you, man.
yeah,
Holla at me.
definitely.
What are you gonna say? I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
I forgot. I don't know.
My bad, dog.
Ah, you good, you good.
No question. And I'm curious, how do you do it with traveling and everything and not knowing the language?
Oh, so I have to have a translator.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's one of the things that I work with in terms of the organizer. Like, like when I was in Vietnam, I had a translator that went with me everywhere. And so you get used to working and teaching with a translator. There's a rhythm, so it's like I know that I can't spit off like 5 minutes of knowledge and then expect him to
do the
repeat it,
same,
right?
yeah.
So I have to break it up into small chunks. And so I'll say da 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 da, and then I'll give him space, and then he'll say that, And so it's just learning how to connect with a translator, and then also to work with them. So it's something that I have to communicate with the organizers.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like curious, like how do you teach if they don't speak the language?
Exactly. Yeah, because I've taught in a ton of countries now where they don't speak English.
Yeah.
And especially coming up this coming spring, it's going to be every country except for London that doesn't speak
Wow.
English.
Did you ever in your past, did you think you were going to be doing this, traveling to different countries and teaching? Did it ever occur to you in your head?
Yes, but I thought it was going to be the gospel.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought I was going to be traveling the world preaching the gospel, which I kind of low-key am
Uh-huh.
because I love people through my work and through that opening prayer and just through my relationship with them. And so, but when I was a kid, I thought I was going to be 3 things, either a chef, an artist, or a preacher. I just knew I was going to be one of those 3.
Yeah.
And I pictured myself traveling the world preaching the gospel. But I'm not doing SMP. So it's a
Crazy.
complete like
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Maybe God has a plan for you,
No, for sure.
through SMP.
Yeah.
He's
for
opening doors and take the lead off of that.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So I'm
Crazy.
super grateful for it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's crazy. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself?
In 5 years, I think that I will have had at least a few of my inkheads shops opened, where I'm overseeing these different shops, and where I have artists that carry the same culture that I carry, in terms of like, I just don't want
Very
someone who's good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They have to understand like my heart for people.
Yeah.
Because because I care about people, I care about my clients, I care about my my students.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I want to be able to know that I have multiple shops running and going, and that it's continuing to grow and spread throughout the world. And hopefully, me and my wife will have a property or two here and there, maybe Italy,
Okay, right there next to Tony.
yeah. With a few little ones running around. So
Awesome.
that's kind of my dream.
That's cool. No, and you're right when you say that. And I tell Freddie, like, we think, when is the right time to hire somebody, and I'm always like thinking about it. They have to be the right person. They have to be someone that's going to represent what we believe as well. You can't just bring anybody to manage, your business or anything like that. It has to be the right person.
She with a head tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They gotta have the skill, the talent, but they have to have the right customer service as well, right? The right
And
passion.
like you said, the same beliefs on my part. I wouldn't just hire, just because you know how to do SMP. No, I want you to believe and feel the same way I do about my client, about my business, and about who we are as a brand. Yeah, 100%.
Gotta treat it like family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I mean, I see that that's hard. You can't just bring anybody in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they need to make clones, cat clones over here, man. Because like I said, they give us like 10 cats. We'll be having locations everywhere.
Yeah. Give us the cat. Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to clone myself so I can have somebody work at my shop right now. You know what I mean? But yeah.
So Santa Monica,
Yeah.
and your Ghost Pigment is what we're repping.
Mm-hmm.
You're my Ghost brother.
Yes,
We're
sir.
sponsored by Ghost Pigment.
Yes, sir.
So is Alejandra. Alejandra is sponsored by Ghost Pigment. We got the banner. We're raving it right here. Wow, right here in LA. Let's go.
Let's go.
Goes.
Right?
Yep.
So yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, no, I mean, with that, if you want to wrap it up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you want to say, Kat?
No, man, just again, I'm super honored to be here with you guys. I really believe in you guys and just what you're doing, representing as a husband and wife. It's a huge blessing to me to see, because I'm a huge proponent of family and of marriage, and to just know that you guys are doing it together as husband and wife. Man, is it cool if I say a blessing over you?
Of course,
guys right now?
100%.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shoot.
Father, I thank you for Freddie and Ale, and I thank you, Lord, for giving them on point SMP. And I just declare again in this next year that they will see a huge growth in business, and not just in business, but also in their marriage and in their family, and that they would feel the love of God poured out and favor of God poured out in so many different aspects of their lives, that it would be impossible to deny your goodness and your presence and your nearness. So I thank you for my friends, Lord, and I just declare the blessing of God over them in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
Kat. That's beautiful. We appreciate that. And I am happy to know that in the SMP world, like, there's someone like you. There's someone
thank
like
you.
you. I appreciate that. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for, like I said, blessing me with all the gems, not holding back any secrets. Our success. I kind of have to. You taught me the natural hairlines.
Wow.
Right.
I'm humbled, man.
You literally taught me how to do it. Right. And I even then I think that first client back I did it was a natural hairline.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted it, and you gave me props on it. You're like, that's it. That's what I taught
Yeah.
him. You're like, that's just what I taught him right there.
Mhm.
And I was showing, like I said, I ran with it. I ran with the game, and I just want to say thank you very much. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And not holding back any secrets. And the SMP Disciple, man. The SMP Disciple, everybody. The SMP Disciple right here, man. Thank you very much for coming by and blessing the platform.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it.
So much.
Let's go.
Stay on point.
Point.
Oh, that was cool.